Okay, this is here at the Long Island Doctor Who convention, and I'm here with Fraser Hines.
That's right, that's me.
Tell us about your guest appearance on Outliner and the character you play, Sir Gordon Fletcher.
Yeah, well, what happened is years and years and years ago, I was in the War Games, Doctor Who, and Diana Gabaldon was a young girl, about 25, 26, watched the War Games, liked the guy in the kilt, and she said the next day in church she was still thinking about me and my kilt, and she decided to write a kind of science fiction about a young girl that falls into a fairy ring from 1946 and goes back to 1746. She called the character Jamie, after me. Couldn't call it Jamie McCrimmon, that's BBC copyright, so she called him Jamie Fraser. And she sent me a book, actually, years ago when I was in Emmerdale, and I read this book, and I tried to get it done by Yorkshire TV to no avail. And then she wrote another book and a follow-up, and it sold something like 23 million different copies, and the story's going on. And then it became a TV series. And I said to my agent at the time, I should be in that. And we got an offer for me to play, I think it was Jamie's father, with no dialogue on his deathbed. I said, well, I want to speak in it. I mean, it was named after my character, for goodness sake. So I turned it down, and then, 6 months later, my girlfriend noticed they were casting again. So I wrote to the casting director, Suzanne Smith, and I said I could play Sir Fletcher Gordon. And she came back, yes, I believe you could. So I went to see her, and she said, yeah, fine. Because they always like to see you and see if you change, you've grown up, down, bald head, whatever. And next thing I knew, I was flying up to Scotland, I did the read-through, and Diana Gabaldon was there. And Jamie, Sam Hewn, who's playing the character, I said, I've got to get a picture between. So I got Diana and Jamie, this big hulking guy, Sam, the actor, and myself. I said, there's Diana Gabaldon with her two Jamies. And it was going to air recently, and they've split the story in two now. It's 16 episodes. I'm in episode 15, playing Sir Fletcher Gordon, who is the governor of Wentworth Prison, where Jamie Fraser is incarcerated. And he didn't die at the end of the episode, so who knows? He could run into Sir Fletcher Gordon again. I don't know.
So you might show up in season 2, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm high hopes, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry it's such a long answer for such a question.
No, that's fine.
Are we all right for time?
Yeah, it's recent, and it's...
Okay.
Are you amazed at how well the recovered Enemy of the World and the Web of Fear did in DVD and iTunes sales, and the renewed interest in your era with the fans?
So amazed. It was lovely to know they've been found, but just because they've been found doesn't necessarily mean they're going to sell.
Right.
But I think it was the Web of Fear, and David J. Howe, my pal, he told me that's the biggest selling DVD. I think it was either Enemy or one of the two.
One of the two of this
is the biggest selling DVD of all time, which crikey, which is really good. And after they came out, I went to America, I think it was Chicago, to do for Gene Smith, to do Chicago TARDIS Con. And what pleased me is there were so many second Doctors and Jamies walking around, which meant to me that new fans had watched those and thought, my, that Patrick Trout, he's a cool guy. Right. I'm going to dress like him. Hey, I liked his Jamie character. That proved to me that it was great, and I was kind of amazed, happily amazed that they'd sold, because people could look up and say, oh, yeah, that's black and white. Yeah, it was the old days. Capaldi's on now. Yeah. But no, I was so chuffed. And in fact, the fans were more pleased for those two stories than the 50th episode. I think Mr. Moffat was a bit sort of peeved that the fans were, oh, good, rather than, hang on, there's the 50th anniversary coming in.
And it sold all the, tons and tons of DVDs.
And the iTunes, when it's released at midnight, it's each story, I think one story got 800,000 to 1 million hits or downloads at £9.99 or something. You think, that's a lot.
And then they bought it again on DVD.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. And it's great, I was saying to Debbie Watling the other day, I said, it's amazing, a job we did over 40 years ago. It's keeping us working. We're seeing all over the world. I've been to Australia, America lots of times, and it's just, it's great.
Yeah, my son, he's going to be here later today. He's coming dressed as Patrick Troughton, and he's also going to be a Yeti.
Oh, really?
The one from the Web of Fear.
No, that's a funny, because Web of Fear, here's the thing, glad you mentioned that, because they showed it on British television, the Web of Fear, or a bit of it, on a TV oh, guess what? BBC have found this. And then one of the presenters said, oh, look, yes, but look, you can see the zip up the back of the Yeti. And I wanted to say to the guy, they're robots. They're not real Yetis. So, of course, there's a zip up the back because the evil professor has to unzip them and tweak with his screwdriver. They're trying to pick a hole in it. No, it's not a real Yeti. It's a robot.
Right. Okay. What is your most memorable moment working with Patrick Troughton?
Oh, it was just a joy from day one. We'd worked together in a thing called Smuggler's Bay a couple of years before, and it was just a joy. It was a joy to come to work every day. I've done a lot of work, and some days you drive to work. Oh, I hope so and so's in a good mood. I hope she hasn't been on the sauce. With Patrick, it was a joy. You never thought, oh, I hope Wendy hasn't fallen out with a boyfriend. I hope Deborah hasn't. It was a joy. It was a shame to take the money. It was a joy to go to work. It really was.
Okay. Do you have any Big Finish adventures coming up where you play Patrick Troughton's second Doctor? Again?
Yes, I've got. I think I've done 3 recently. One with Louise Jameson, and another on my own. It's amazing that I've done 3, and because you can do them, then they can wait 7 or 8 months for them to get it all. So I know I've got 3 ready to come out.
Okay. So you worked with Louise Jameson. That means you worked with Tom Baker's Doctor then? Yeah,
unfortunately Tom was poorly that day, so I didn't have any scenes with Tom. So he kind of phoned his in the next day.
Right, because it's on audio, so he can show up whenever.
That's right. But when we broke for lunch, Leela and I, and Louise and I, improvised the scene. This is what you should do. Coming next on Big Finish, Leela and Jamie and the Doctor's strapped to this, and the water's rising. And he said, "For goodness sake, Leela, rescue!" And I go, "No, it's a job for me, not for a wee lassie." And Leela and I have a rescue. We wrestle each other, trying to who's going to cut, because we only two had a knife. Leela and Jamie, the only two that carried a weapon. When you think about it, we both wanted to cut the Doctor's ropes and save him. So we're so busy wrestling on the floor, And he's going, "For goodness sake, why don't you just cut the rope?" And that was a great. And David Richardson, the fans would like that. I said, the fans would love that.
Yeah, I think they would. Last question. What do you think of Peter Capaldi's Doctor?
When he was announced, I thought, good. Because although I like Matt Smith, I think it's time for an older Doctor. But Peter has got that kind of stern look, but he's got a twinkle in his eye as well.
Right. That's all we have. And thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
To answer some questions.
Not at all. Thank you very much.